Okay, loves, we moved through cooperation versus compliance. And then last week we talked about the energetics of rage, when that rage arises inside of us and takes over basically and acts out. And then once it does, this happens over and over. I'd wake up every morning and tell myself I was going to be easygoing. I was not going to yell at my daughter. I was not going to feel rage, all those things every morning. And then by 10 o'clock, there I was again, woo, trying to get out of the house and her, resisting and going backwards when I wanted to go forward. I was pushing her and she was pulling on the rope. It was like we had a tug of war almost every morning. And there would come that rage, the hot energetics of our dynamic. And then often I would lash out or I would rage. And right behind that was like this big collapse into disappointment. I was so disappointed in myself. Now, often I would project that out into my daughter that she was a disappointment because I felt like I was trying so hard. I would get breakfast ready, I would have her clothes out. I was trying every day. I was manipulating myself, trying to find some way to get this child to cooperate. But actually, I was trying to get her to comply with my need. I wasn't actually including her. When I did, it got much easier, let me tell you. But at first, I wasn't. And so then that rage would build up because I was trying so hard. And then I would feel that disappointment. And for a while, I was disappointed at her. Like, why couldn't she get it? Why couldn't she just put her clothes on? Why couldn't she be like other kids? Right? Have you ever heard yourself say that? Why couldn't she just be like other kids and be easy? Why did I have to get a hard one? That's how I felt, of course. And then that disappointment would turn back inside on me. That I felt like I was a big fat disappointment. I could not get my environment to be a cooperative one, right? And I was feeling emotionally threatened all the time. I was feeling little. I was feeling like I was being held hostage. It was horrible. She had all the power. That's how it felt to me. But the truth was, I had given her all the power because when I felt powerless, tried to overpower, which activated her intensity to give it back to me. Right? So, disappointment is probably one of the heaviest feelings, at least in my experience. And I've visited it so often in my life because I'm a hard trier. And you might be too. I mean, I really work hard. I read stuff, I do stuff, I work on stuff, I try to be kind to people, I try to figure out what I need to do. And then when I can't manipulate my environment or control it, which I wasn't able to do in my parenting because I wasn't actually being in cooperation, I was just trying to get my daughter to meet my needs, then that big, heavy feeling of disappointment. I call it the collapse. So after that intensity of energy, the rage would go out, and that would feel good for a moment. Might feel good for you too. It's like I released it, but then I immediately had this collapse in my chest. And then that energy was one of, I just wanted to give up. I just want to throw my hands up and say, whatever, just do whatever you want. I don't care. I just don't care. And that was most painful feeling. It still is the most painful feeling when I collapse into that disappointment because I'm so incredibly self aggressive toward myself. And that's what I want to give to you also. If you feel like you are a disappointment, just ask yourself, what are you telling yourself? That you failed, that you're no good at this, that you can't do it. Now that's much easier to project out onto our children and say that they're bad and they're hard and they're strong-willed. I hear that all the time, and they're difficult. But actually, when you turn it back in, you may find that it's really a self-aggression, that if I was better, my child would be different. If I was able to do this, my child would cooperate. Yes, it's a really deep one, disappointment. So, my suggestion is yesterday we talked about the safe seat. if you are aware of that disappointment, maybe after a rage, take yourself to your safe seat and see what it's like to offer kindness and love to the one inside versus the self-aggression. To just say, oh, sweetheart, of course, this is hard for you because you're working so deeply to be there, to meet her needs, to meet his needs, to do the right thing. So, of course, sweetheart, it's so incredibly painful to not see the results that you're seeking outside, and then to turn inward and turn on yourself in self aggression. Oh, sweetheart. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.